Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Get out the toboggan. God almighty. 9:02, good morning. And if you are thinking you're going to leave your house today, you are not going to, my friends. Let me tell you something. Oh, man, to get down here was a struggle. But it's our job to bring you everything about local news with your daily dose of local news, sports, and everything else. The news team's been hard at work over the weekend, everybody at RiverBender.com. Now it's time for me to do my part and bring you the daily show from 9 to 11. We got great guests coming up in just 15 minutes' time. We're talking to Mark Matson. He's a national figure in the financial scene. He's been on CNBC, Fox News, so many other places. We're going to be talking about the 2025 year fiscally, and we're going to be talking about some of the policies, changes that we've been hearing about. How do they affect us here locally? How do they affect us at a regional level, a national level, a federal level? We'll talk all about that and then some more with Mark Matson. Coming up right after that at 9:30, we missed Theater Thursday last week because I was on vacation. Lee Cox back in the studio via Zoom today as we're making sure all of our guests are staying away from downtown Alton. There is no place to park, so if you see my car in the middle of Bell Street, that's the best I could do. But hey, no one should be out on the roads anyway, so it should be fine until 11:05. Mary Cordes joins us at 10:35 from Hayner Library, and we'll have some more fun. Grid Solar is scheduled for 10:10, but haven't heard back yet, so we'll see how that plays out in the next couple of hours. At 9:04, here's what's happening around the Riverbend this morning. On top of the snow, we do have local news for you now. This was the biggest news story on RiverBender.com over the past few days. A 29-year-old woman from East Alton, Elise Rule, is now facing multiple felony charges after a violent altercation with her boyfriend following a heated argument on December the 26th. Rule allegedly tried to run him over with her Chevrolet, causing injuries and significant damage. The confrontation escalated when Rule entered the victim's home without permission, leading to a physical altercation. Surveillance footage captured the incident, showing her striking the victim and used a concrete pillar in the process. Rule charged with aggravated battery, criminal damage to property, and criminal trespass. Though she is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, she was remanded to be held in jail, but due to updated records, we have seen that she has since been released. Due to severe weather conditions, numerous businesses across the St. Louis Metro East and on the Illinois side, specifically in the Riverbend region, are closed today. There are so many listings. Go to the RiverBender.com homepage, click on closings and cancellations to see if the business you were wanting to go to today is closed. And if you're thinking about closing your doors today, just go ahead and do it. It's all good. I think we're all taking a snow day. As the winter weather continues to impact the region, though, IDOT is monitoring this situation carefully and has done so for the last couple of days. Engineer Joe Monroe reported a significant amount of snowfall accumulation in the area with that transition zone from Illinois Route 143 to the south. Northern areas experienced predominantly snow, while the southern regions faced a mix of sleet and freezing rain, and it's leading to some very slick conditions. Monroe described the weather pattern as a cycle. Residents advised to remain cautious and stay updated on road conditions as this situation evolves. But again, if you do not need to Go out today. Don't do it. A variety of government offices are closed today as well. Notable closures include the Alton Community Federal Credit Union, various animal hospitals, and the City of Alton offices are closed. Additionally, the Boys and Girls Club in Bethalto and several local gyms are also closed. Some establishments, like the Bethalto McDonald's, have adjusted their hours, opening later at 10:30 this morning. Residents are advised to check with individual businesses for specific details. For any additional closures, individuals can contact the news team at RiverBender.com. Email us, news@RiverBender.com, and we'll make sure that we add your closing and or cancellation to the list. In response to those weather conditions, all schools are on e-learning days or are on snow days altogether. This closure impacted various private schools and alternative education centers as well across the St. Louis Metro East. And please stay updated through your respective schools' district's Facebook page or your ways of communicating with them to see what tomorrow brings to the 618. Back to news. A Granite City man, John Rushing Jr., has been granted pretrial release following charges of domestic battery against an elderly victim. Rushing, 42 years of age, charged on December the 27th for allegedly striking a household member who was over 60 in the face. His criminal history includes multiple offenses dating back to 2001. He is currently on parole. As part of his release conditions, Rushing must maintain a distance of at least 500 feet from the victim and is prohibited from possessing firearms or contacting that victim. Charges based upon probable cause, and he is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And finally, in the news today, my friends, a Brighton man, Joshua R. Hicks, 38 years of age, is facing legal troubles after allegedly pointing a firearm during a dispute with his roommate. Charges include unlawful possession of a weapon by a felon and aggravated assault. The incident occurred on December the 22nd, when Hicks reportedly seen with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, which he is prohibited from possessing due to a prior burglary conviction in 2008. Witnesses claim he brandished the weapon during the argument. Hicks is currently on pretrial release, who was initially ordered to jail but is not in custody as of now. All individuals charged are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. At 9:09, that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you go to RiverBender.com's Facebook page. Oh, well, I haven't even hit live on Facebook yet. Hold on. We'll wait for them to catch up. Have some fun with them. Go to RiverBender.com's Facebook page, and you can see all of the area footage from all of you, the users. You guys submitted the coolest photos of your backyard, all of your furry friends having some fun, and I'll be taking a few of those photos. We'll show them throughout the show today, too, but just another great addition yesterday to the local storm coverage. Man, 500 comments and like 300 pictures to go through. Good stuff. Good stuff, guys. Hey, let's take a look at weather, shall we? 19 degrees out there. It feels like 10 today. A little snow early this morning. Otherwise, it's just going to be mostly cloudy and very cold. We have a total of 6 to 10 inches out on the streets. And sidewalks are still snow-packed and slippery, so go ahead and stay inside. Again, I've said it 8 times. I was the idiot that drove just to do the job, but you guys don't have to. Stay home. Tonight, breezy this evening. Clouds breaking. Very cold, and it will be extreme. Extreme cold can be dangerous for your outdoor activities. If you see anyone in need, the overnight warming locations in the area will take care of them. Temperatures will reach just 27 degrees today, and here we go, my friends. The Arctic front comes in. It will drop down to 1 degree tonight as we head into Tuesday. On Tuesday, the 7th of January, a high of 22, a low of -1. On Wednesday, the 8th of January, a high of 22 degrees, a low of -8. And on Thursday, you can call it a warm-up, a high of 23 and a low of 13 degrees. And on Friday, a couple of inches of snow, maybe an inch, a high of 29 and a low of I am working, John, and a low of 18 degrees. At 9:11, we'll take a quick break, but before we do, let me fill you in on RP Lumber. Is it time for a new kitchen? Well, it's time for going to a place that has the best service and the best value. Their experienced professional designers are on staff, and they can make any room pop and match what you're needing. Ask them about your bedroom, laundry room, and your mudroom, too. They'll take care of you. Cabinetry, countertop, tiles, tubs, fixtures, and all of the greatest products that you can find at any of the locations in the Metro East. Go to RPLumber.com. That's RPLumber.com/kitchen-bath. And make sure you put your address in, and they'll take care of you. All you have to do is click the Contact Us tab, and they'll reach out, and you're good to go with a regional and national staple in RP Lumber. At 9:12, RPLumber.com. Don't forget to tell them that RiverBender.com sent you over their way. Let's take a look at downtown Alton. We'll come back with Mark Matson right after this on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1,000,000. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
It is a Snowmageddon Monday out there. All of us snowed in, but our daily show continues with a great conversation now with the CEO of Matson Money. Mark Matson joins us via Zoom. How are you doing on this Monday morning, sir?
I'm doing great, getting the year started with some energy and passion here. Starting out with your show.
And thank you so much for doing that. And it seems like a lot of people are getting energized about maybe the potential of better financial security going forward. And right now, as it sits on the 6th day of the 25th, 2025, how are we feeling? How are you feeling personally about this year?
Well, I'm feeling great about this year, and I'm feeling great about the next 4 years, quite frankly. I think what we witnessed was nothing short of a miracle as Trump won the election I really restored my faith in America, our values, our freedoms, our morals, our ethics. I think a lot of folks in the financial industry like myself are very positive, feeling great that this country can really make a good turnaround after the last 4 years of devastation.
Well, and on top of that, Mark, President Trump has outlined a plan to stabilize prices, restore purchasing power. And from your perspective, how do these policies align with the financial strategies that you advocate for and talk about all the time?
Well, one of the things we always talk about is our equities. Equities are the greatest wealth creation tool known to mankind. Historically, large stocks have averaged about 10% per year, so your money doubles in every 7.2 years. Small stocks have been in the ballpark of 12%, small value stocks in the ballpark of 14%. So historically, equities, owning stocks, not only in the United States, but also globally, is one of the ways that people can fulfill their American dream. And Trump is very pro equities, very pro free markets. Look, it's not just what he's getting ready to do. For example, hold on to the tax cuts that most people got in 2017. You have to admit what he's going to prevent. You had proposals for tax rates to go away, the tax benefits. You had people wanting to do away with the state tax benefits. You wanted people to, Harris wanted to take taxes, capital gains taxes, make them ordinary taxes. It was even the idea of floating a wealth tax on capital gains you hadn't even made yet was floated. This would have been devastation for the economy. Inflation would have continued to spiral out of control. Jobs would have been lost. So we really dodged a bullet on this one.
Well, and on top of that too, Mark, and you know a lot more about this than I do, but just in my perspective and my demographic and my generation, it seems like that American dream, quote unquote, is just becoming less and less obtainable for younger people, or our perception at least, where we're going, man, we aren't going to be like our grandparents. How can you see some of these policies starting to maybe energize my group of young Americans that are ready to tackle that dream?
Yeah, and I want to just say for all the young people out there, look, the American dream is still attainable. It's still real with hard work and determination. It's out there. We have more entrepreneurs than ever in the United States of America. Almost half of everyone's employed by a small business, not a large Fortune 500 company. So there are a lot of opportunities. Look, a couple things to remember. When people think about the American dream, here's the kind of things they want. They usually want a family. They want to have a secure job. They want to be able to save for retirement. They want home ownership. And all of those things were getting harder. Inflation took off like crazy. I've been asked, well, was inflation transitory? Inflation is never transitory, meaning it's only temporary, because it's permanent. Once it's in there, it doesn't go back down. So these prices are up 30, 40, 50% in some areas over the last 4 years. That has to come down. Interest rates for mortgages has to come down. More high-paying jobs where people can work to create enough wealth and prosperity for their dreams. People have to start investing again. A lot of people were taking money out of their 401ks just to live off of. And now we have to start getting back to hard work, saving 10 to 15% of your money every year, investing in equities long-term for young people, having an emergency fund. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for that to happen in the future.
Well, you spoke on inflation, and that's something that really has just hit every family. Walk the grocery aisle, and if you feel comfortable paying $8 for cereal, God love you. I can't personally. And, Mark, with that, Donald Trump's approach to tackling inflation, how do you see this benefiting American investors and families that are looking to maybe preserve their wealth or maybe even establish it too?
Yeah, inflation is a real killer.
Yeah.
It's an economic killer. Look, what most people don't understand is inflation is a form of taxation. And it's regressive, which means that the people that make the least amount of money get hit hardest by inflation. If you're making $10 million a year, you can only eat so many cheeseburgers, right? And maybe your property, your real estate, and your business might be going up in value. But if you're in the lower middle class or in poverty, these inflationary taxes on energy, on food, these are a form of taxation, and they need to be brought down. Dr. Art Laffer, who won the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Donald Trump. It was on our academic board. And inflation is really, really simple. You have too much money chasing too few goods. So you have to reduce government spending. You have to let people have more of their own money to buy products and services. That means tax reductions. And you got to open up free markets, and you have to reduce the very, very high cost of natural gas, natural energy, because if you don't, those things drive everything. They don't just drive your car. They drive manufacturing of your cell phone and your glasses and your clothing. And energy affects everything, and those prices have got to come down to get inflation under control.
Well, and on top of that too, with the economy where it is and where inflation being at the pace it's at, there's also this talk that Donald Trump's had about maybe expanding career opportunities. We've had that national conversation. The visa argument was coming into play, but I wanted to ask about this emphasis on expanding career opportunities, because I think that goes hand in hand to maybe how an American can start tackling some of these rising costs and these gotcha bills, is what I call them. The ghost fees that are always there. How can families leverage these pathways to, prosperity and really just long-term financial support in terms of what the president's proposing, President-elect's proposing?
Yeah, when you look at some of his proposals, number one, he wants to keep the tax cuts of 2017. If it's a corporation and they're manufacturing goods in the United States, he wants to drop their income taxes to 15%. He wants to take 21 to 20% for normal corporations. He wants to give a $5,000 tax credit for children in the family. So there's a lot of very pro things. You're going to get to keep more of your money under this administration than you would have. That's very pro growth here for you. But I think the key thing here is mindset.
Okay.
The mindset. People always say, "What's the best investment?" I always say, "Well, your best investment is investing in yourself."
True.
And they say, "Well, how do I get started?" And I to many people's surprise, I say, "Start at the bottom." Look, if you don't have a lot of experience, if you don't have a lot of money, if you have a lot of debt start at the bottom and work harder than the next guy. Work harder than the person next to you. Show up early. Work late. If you work for an entrepreneur, they're going to notice. They're going to see. They're going to give you more opportunities. They're going to give you raises. They're going to give you more training and education. And that is very much available in the United States and America. We have so much opportunities for someone who's willing to work hard, that has grit, that's willing to outwork the next person. And don't sit in your home in your basement on your computer. Go to the office so your boss can see your face. Do yourself a big favor. Don't ghost yourself and hide out at home. Get to work.
Well, and I wanted to follow up on that. I think that point is so vitally important for so many people, because I'm like the outlier in my generation. I feel like the old guy that's yelling at everybody saying, let's get up and let's go. How important is it for us to get the stick out, and all proper ways to say this, but quote unquote, let's get the stick out and let's get to work? Because I think a lot of this in my generation is this kind of woe is me mentality that's not getting us anywhere.
Brother, you just nailed it 100%. In the book that I just wrote called Experiencing the American Dream, I talk about mindsets and how critical they are. They're screens by the way that you see the world. And my grandfather, who got us out of the hills and hollers of West Virginia, but never got us out of poverty, he had a mindset about the world. Money's evil. Money's hard to get. He was a victim. He saw himself as a victim. He saw himself as entitled to money he didn't create. In this victim mentality is the absolute destroyer of your American dream. I call it a money demon. On the other hand, my father had this view of the world where if you add enough value to other people, if you serve other people, if you ask, what can I do to bring value to them instead of what can I get for free, then you have a whole different way of seeing the world, a way of freedom, a way of capitalism, of free markets, hard work, entrepreneurism, individuality versus entitlement and a victimhood. And those two different ways of seeing the world will, in a large capacity, determine whether or not you have your American dream or you become an American victim of entitlement and the liberal way of looking at the world. Look, liberals don't want success. They want people to fail, because if they fail, you got to stay committed to getting the government handouts.
Well, and I'm just, to follow up on that, I've given a couple of speeches around the region here too, and I just hope people are listening to me for my generation and listen to what you just had to say, because we have to grab the ball eventually and put it in our hands and let's start moving forward. And on top of that all too, I think that's why, and you've got a sense on this by talking to so many people and your finger on the pulse, but it's not really, to me, for my generation, wasn't the policies of Donald Trump, it was the attitude for so many of my generation that kind of gravitated towards him. And is that something that you're seeing too, was just maybe this, let's get back let's get back to working hard and going back to what we used to do? Yeah,
I heard recently they were talking about the two world leaders. They were talking about Hitler and they were talking about Churchill. Mm-hmm. And one thing was that Hitler had people believe that he could do anything. Churchill had people believing they could do anything. And I think under a Trump presidency, if you start to have a more optimistic outlook, if you start to look for those opportunities, the problem isn't unemployment. The problem is that people won't go to work. There's over 6 million jobs that are available, that are open, that people won't take. So, we've been a little sheltered here in America. We've really had it well for a long time. And I think that makes people a little lazy, a little apathetic, setting back on their heels instead of going out and chasing it. But if you're willing to work hard and figure out what can you create value for other people, and the capitalistic system will create value for you if you're willing to create value for others. And it's an amazing thing. Capitalism is incredible. It's the greatest wealth creation tool the world has ever known. And as an American, you're entitled to it. You're entitled to freedom of speech.
It's true.
Freedom of capital, freedom to start your own company. Look, you and I aren't having this conversation if we live in Russia right now. We're not having this conversation if we live in Cuba or Venezuela or Iran. There are great opportunities here in America.
Well, and you're right, Mark. And we have a couple of minutes left here, and it just goes back because people ask me all the time. They go, "Man, how did you get this show on the road?" Because I did it. It wasn't this big equation. You just did it. I worked in radio and said, "Let's try this." And no matter what, we just got to keep trying. We got to put the feet down and we got to work. And now, with that being said, how do President Trump's overall economic policies? I know that there's talks of tariff. What does that actually mean? How do they overall? How do these policies, this economic vision, how does it resonate with just your personal philosophy, throughout this whole process?
There's never, even in marriage, there's never a perfect fit. You always have to have conversations about things you have to work through. So I love President's policies overall. Not a huge fan of tariffs. Mm-hmm. He's suggesting a 20% tariff on everybody, a 60% tariff on China. I talked to Dr. Art Laffer just the other day. He said, look, the tariffs, one thing about Trump, and he definitely has this, I'm not great at negotiation, I'm pretty bad at it, but he's great at it. And what he does is he uses those tariffs as a negotiating tool, as a chip, a negotiation chip. And so I'm not really worried about the tariffs so much. I'm not worried about a trade war. I'm worried about real war. I'm worried about Iran and Israel. I'm worried about Russia and Ukraine. And that's a key thing for the global economy to heal and recover, is for Trump to help in those wars. That's going to be a key for inflation. That's going to be a key for stability and for growth for our country and other countries. And he's building a coalition, not just of the United States, but all these other foreign leaders. And I think he'll do a great job at it, much better than Biden.
Before I let you go, Mark, and I really appreciate your time this Monday morning, I wanted to ask you, finally, before I let you go, talking just a little bit about everything here today, and what I think such a big component is not everything is going to be given to us as an American citizen. Just because we voted for X, Y, or Z doesn't mean X, Y, or Z is going to be giving us the world. There's got to be a working component to it. If Trump's policies are implemented and the everyday American, like myself or anybody else, is starting to put that work in, how does your vision of the American dream currently shift once you start seeing these things in action?
Yeah, I think it just, my view of it doesn't shift, because my view of it is that the American dream is not just having money or materialism. It's having a positive outlook It's creating wealth for others. It's freedom. It's independence. It's family. And I think it's freedom of speech and freedom of religion. It's freedom of the press. And I think you're going to see much more freedom. And we had a lot of restrictions under President Biden. And I think that was going to get worse. My hope for this country and the American dream and for people striving for it, this is a great time to be an American.
Mark, all I know is that it snowed 10 inches here in the St. Louis area, and I was struggling to get into work today. I had to look like Tony Soprano walking through the woods, you know? But you gave me the energy, man, to fire me up. I hope to talk with you again soon. Thank you so much for your time, and the best Monday you can have.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care of yourself out there in that snow. Thanks, brother.
We'll talk again soon. Mark Matson, the CEO of Matson Money. More Daily Show right around the bend after a quick break in the heart of the 618.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. Which is good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Yeah, hey, I hope John Henson's watching this today. I got a suit on. Look at that. I said I'm going to look nice and trudge through the snow in a suit. I'm going to be the nicest guy looking like a bum walking through the streets today, you know? Lee Cox, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Let me pull you up on the screen.
And you have a suit on. This isn't fair.
Do you have your camera on today, Lee, or are we just going like a phone call?
Well, we took the camera from the theater and we put it on the top of my computer, but I don't see a light on. I don't know how
It's all good. It's all good. I am glad to have you on the show today. You guys are feeling pretty good after last week.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was such a roller coaster, but I always believe we have the nicest, best community-minded people here in the region, and we do. And yes, Mr. Eddie Scholler, when he walked in, we thought, oh, it's another plumber wanting to give us a bid. and I looked at his blue eyes, and they kind of twinkled, and he told us why he was there. And we were both like, really? Really? It was wonderful. And I just love that he wants to help with community projects, and I know he's done a few smaller things, and he has some big plans to help some other people. But he is helping, totally paying for the first repair, and the crew was there the very next day. Great crew of people from Burco, and now we have a big hole, of course, where they've been working, but they put, cones down and everything so nobody would fall in. And of course, now it has a bunch of snow in it. But they are going to have us open for the X's on the 24th.
Well, and Lee, seriously, after the year that you guys had, it was a great last couple of months, and then to really just get kicked in the gut like that, really just take our region through what that real feeling was like, knowing, hey, thank goodness for community and thank goodness for Eddie Scholler, because, you guys really were on fire.
Yes, we were, and this is true on opening night of A Christmas Carol, which was the 14th. I just sat in the foyer enjoying the people celebrating. It was the 5th show in a row at the theater. We had finally come back with full houses, sold out houses, and selling tickets ahead of time and selling gift certificates. And so I was probably at an all-time high for the year on December 14th. And then intermission at 8:45 p.m. on the 15th. Again, at first I just thought, oh my gosh, this is messy and this is something. It's the torrential rain. It's, the old toilet something. But I had no idea how major this was. Even though I had been around since that plumbing was put in 1968. And then, day by day, the news just got worse and worse and worse.
Well, and Lee, that's what was so kind of enlightening for me anyway, because I got a little bit of a sense of it before, everyone else did, because my uncle and grandpa went out and worked on your guys' sewer for decades now with Rigged It. And so they kind of told me this is bad. And, I could only imagine what was going on, but it's just good to know, after the mountain that would have been, and every bit of a mountain that is, that somebody like Eddie, especially from a background in a business now that kind of is still newer to mainstream, where people might be a little bit turned off by it still, this is a great way for I think, community to know that Village Dispensary really is about the area.
It is, and he is very knowledgeable. He did not tell us who to use. We already, by the time we met him, had 3 bids and then another one coming in. And many of the local people, because we always use local, that.
Absolutely.
But they said the exact tone you use. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is really bad. It went from 100 feet to 150 to 200 feet, and they even took us down the hill in the woods where the city connects. And I saw trees and I saw parking lot torn up, and I was like, this is bad. But he had used Burco Construction before. There's many good groups in the area, but they have a unique technique, and I'm not techie, I don't get it, but they started just boring down and figuring how they were going to replace sections of pipe, and they weren't intimidated. They had full confidence that they could do this and get it fixed within 2 weeks, which, just put us back on track, because business interruption for any business, if a snowstorm, whatever, is bad. But for nonprofits with our razor thin margin, to think of being out of business 6 weeks, maybe 10 weeks, that was just about as devastating. Even though we started the GoFundMe account, and yes, people were kind and responsive and wishing us well, I just kind of wasn't quite sure what we were going to do. And so this really just was such a blessing.
Well, and Lee, I think that it's just some things work out. They work out when they work out, and this was definitely one of them. And now going forward, I got to ask you, how's Eric feeling about this? Poor Eric. Gosh dang, not even a year in, and you're hit with the mountain of all mountains going into this. That's got to be just the weight of the world off of his shoulders, too.
It is, and thank God he's young. Even though at 38, he was exhausted. I think, like a lot of people, he was like, "Oh, maybe if it really, really snows, I can stay home tomorrow." I mean, first of all, his official start date was January 1st, but of course, he was in Singing in the Rain last May, and right after that, we started looking for people to reorganize, take a lot of Kevin's duties on, because we knew it would take a while to find somebody, but in fact it didn't. It took us about a month. And he had a lot of jobs to finish up and things that he was doing at another theater group. But he started getting involved, meeting board members, coming to board meetings. And I think he had already planned on being there most of the time during the Christmas Carol, just to meet people. But he was there. He's been there every single day.
What's that? Not to cut you off, Lee, but this is something that I think is really good to touch on too. We were just kind of talking about, younger generations and finding that intensity maybe just to grab the brass ring, and you found one in Eric. I mean, this is why so many establishments that are long running kind of run into hiccups and growth, and they start to close their doors. But you got lucky with Eric. I mean, this guy's ready to work.
We got so lucky because he's experienced. Yep. He builds a little differently than Kevin does. I mean, everybody has their own style, but he's so artistic. He has great ideas. And so far, we're 10 for 10. We get along. I mean, he, like you, he's another son.
Don't get me jealous. Don't you get me jealous.
I knew I might be jealous. Just because he can build sets for us. That's all, CJ. He can build beautiful sets. But he gets the vision. He can talk theater because it's been his life. But he's like you, digital, modern, new technology. He's all about that. And I really don't give a rat's ass because finished, but I that's not my forte. Give me costumes, give me set dressing, give me props, give me scripts. I'll read scripts all day. But don't ask me to, play with projectors or things like that. I'm not going to do it.
Oh my goodness. My censor bars from Lee Cox today. I love this. Oh my God, I love you. Well, Lee, this is what I think's so cool. It's the energy. I mean, it's just the energy of the building right now. It seems like, yeah, this happened and it was devastating at the time, but now, I mean, everyone's fired up just seeing some of the internal emails that I've kind of been tagged in and just hearing some of the thoughts. It's like you needed this to kind of give that jolt to get, everybody just rocking and rolling already.
Well, we did. And I also wanted to use this to make clear that the money that we have raised, and maybe a little more with the GoFundMe, it is essential because in the spring, when it's warmer, we will have a huge hole and line and sidewalks, parking lot, and those things are expensive. So we are even adding another concert. John Minnick is a Canadian who does work on all the cruise lines. He contacted us and said he wanted to help. And then Eric's fiance, Bethany Tomorrow, she sings country like Bethany's business. Particularly, she loves tributes to Olivia Newton-John. So we've added a concert even in May after women of a certain age, just especially so that we can have the boost and funds we'll need to finish and clean up the parking lot and all the sidewalks.
So, and just because, Lee, there's a little bit of just because it's Zoom, it's a little bit quieter. I just wanted to reiterate what Lee had to say just for the audience. If you were a part of that GoFundMe, before the big donation, just realize how crucial that was. Lee was just filling us in about the springtime work because it's not going to just be wintertime and it's done. There's going to be some the work that goes into the parking lot, filling that hole and all of that stuff. So if you contributed to that, you guys really were a part of something a lot bigger than ourselves. It was a complete community drive. And yeah, the 40 or 50, the big donation was needed, and that was huge. But your guys' micro donations and bigger donations, whoever donated, is really what kind of was able to make this possible, correctly?
That is totally correct. And so many of the people made their donations and put anonymous, but we want to acknowledge them in some form because it truly is a second blessing. I asked everybody, when can we fix the parking lot? And they said, oh, with this snow and this winter we're supposed to have, it'll be months and months. So, we just got to open up, have it safe, have it warm, have all 9 restrooms working, and then we'll do the second part as soon as we can in the spring.
Really good stuff, Lee. And now, Singing in the New Year with Thomas M. Taylor. When is that going to be airing?
That is now on March 15th, Saturday, March 15th at 2 p.m. Originally, we had thought, even Thomas said he would do it on February 15th. And then he got home and his wife, like good wives do, said, no, honey, you're in a show in February. You can't do it until March. So he called me right away. So again, I know it was confusing because I got those press releases out right away and it was going to be in February. But it is March 15th, and we kind of changed it up. He's going to sing in all the love and luck because we'll be past the New Year, but we will have gone through Valentine's Day, and then it will be St. Patrick's Day. So he's still going to do a bang-up concert, and people who haven't met Eric will have a chance to meet him and Bethany, his fiance, because, again, the fact that she said, oh, let me help too. And they do a lot of shows in speakeasies and around the area. But I think people are just going to fall in love with both of them.
Well,
and they really are committed to ALT.
Well, and that's what I think so special about, just kind of this whole point and where we're at, Lee, is it's just really cool to see this next generation starting to take shape. And it seems like, and just from my perspective, outsider looking in, that there's a lot of really good folks that aren't just talented, but and like just touching on what you said, they're committed not just to Alton Little Theater, but they're committed to doing this for the community for quite a long time.
Yes, and it's one of the things I'm proudest of. In fact, when I was, savoring the wonder of a Christmas Carol, we had cast members from age 11 to 81. In the show, and really experienced actors. And I think 5 or 6 of the students we had last summer, who some were in Oliver and then are coming right along, and just getting to know their families and having all those generations and people working together. That was the dream that Kevin and I had, that this would be a true community theater and everyone in town would know about it, feel comfortable coming there, want to see at least a concert, a show, something, and that the community would feel ownership. And I think they do.
Well, and I completely agree with that, Lee. And I just think it's great that after all the... Now, I got a real question. This is a CJ question, since we have the time. Did you ever, whenever you knew that you got the donation, were you kind of pissed because you had to go back and change all the dates?
No, I was panicked. I wasn't pissed, but I was panicked. And of course, I was like, do I just say I have a so what do I do? Like, these people are going to think I'm crazy because they're pretty responsive right away. And then I have to say, oh, wait a minute, it's changed. But actually now, Thomas's concert is the only thing I had to put the chores about to make a new poster, and then I'm adding a poster. So actually, it worked out because before everything was changing, and I had, again, I had playwrights flying in for the X's and the studio series. So I was on the phone to New York and California and everywhere else. Yeah, I was not relaxing for 1 minute for about 4 days.
Well, the good news is that we can relax now, and it's just great to know that the community stepped up for this, Lee. And, with that being said, if we can go over the shows that are coming up, just so that way we're all on the same page again, can you give us the lineup just in order so that way we can mark them down and make sure our audience members know when they're coming?
Absolutely, yes. The X's is back to the original date, so it opens on the 24th of January and runs to February 2nd. So we have 3 matinees. It's our season this year is 4 evenings and 3 matinees. So it's back. Eric is working night and day to get that set up. And I want to do a shout out for Cruz because I was really not knowing where I was going to get this text for this extremely tall gentleman in the show. And we ran down there in the middle of everything and he got us a text. So that was great. They're going to look great. And then Front Porch and the Haunted Widow Lincoln are the studio series together. And they open on February 14th. Yes, Valentine's Day. Love. And then the very next weekend, then we have another show. So they're back to back. And we have, we have 18 talented actors, including yourself, who are in these 2 shows. We're going to do them kind of black box. The authors will be there. We'll take questions. They are historically significant.
Well, and
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying it's a really great addition to anybody who maybe hasn't gone to a performance yet of any kind, maybe not even a musical or a play. They don't know what to expect. These are perfect lengths to really get a good taste for them, right, Lee?
Oh, absolutely. And to have interactions. That's part of the studio series so that younger actors or just new people to the community can get familiar with us, and so that we can do new plays that may not have wide appeal, but they're excellent writing. They're good shows, and I love the authors and I love these 2 shows, so I got to pick them. And then March 1st and 2nd, which again, just a week and a half later, we have the Bobby Darin Beyond the Sea concert. And again, that is our own Eric Sykes. And then he has a whole bevy of beautiful dancers behind him. And he loves Bobby Darin. He knows everything about Bobby Darin. He's as crazy about Bobby Darin as Kevin was about Frank Sinatra. So it'll be a fun show. And his goal now, it was taken away, but his goal now is we will announce his 92nd season. He has been working, looking at shows that our audiences will like, and that announcement will come early because, of course, we need to sell season tickets. And then we get back on track. Christy Doring has her auditions for the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and she will start rehearsals in March. It goes up early in April. And then 4 weeks later, I open with Women of a Certain Age. And then, as I said, we're adding another concert after that. So we're going to be there if anybody wants to come in and see how we're doing. And the website, Mike's been working on all the updates. He's ready to string me up, but he's been great. And you help us too, because you help us get the word out.
Hey, we're all a team, Lee. And that's what was fun about before the sewer issues. It was such a fun time to be, every time you came on, because life was going so well for Alton Little Theater. It was like we were all feeling good, because it's a team. And you guys were working hard, and I felt like we were doing great on the show, and now we can keep doing it.
Again, I just saw the first picture, the last time Thomas was on and we were laughing and I had short sleeves on. It was warm.
It was. Well, and how are you guys going to be doing your snow day today?
Well, I sent Michael out and he did a little bit of shoveling. Of course, I had to check on him every 2 minutes.
Good call, though. That's a good call, though. Always check on, seriously, for the folks at home, if you have someone shoveling today, please check on them if they're outside for more than 10 minutes. That's a good point, Lee.
And absolutely, Jazzy will not go outside. She's like, no way. But I do love this. We talk about bird brains. Well, all the birds remembered that we always put food out. They were at our back door yesterday, except we'd forgotten to buy bird seed.
Oh, no.
I had oyster crackers. I had everything. We were trying to see the birds.
Well, I got to tell you this. You're going to love this. So my parents are in Florida right now, so I'm watching their house and my house, and it always is during a winter storm. You know, it's never when it's 85 degrees. I had the dogs acting so crazy yesterday. My dog and my pig got into it. My pig nicked the dog, and Nico started getting mad. It was a nightmare, Lee. These animals were acting nuts. I thought I was going to have to go to a place to sit down and calm down for a while.
If you could have gotten there, it was pretty dicey. Yeah,
that's right. Well,
and this is a little hard for me. A second day, one day in doesn't drive me nuts, but 2 days, you know me, I'm on the run all the time. This is a little dicey today.
Look at what happened to me. I said I'm coming into work. We'll find a way. We will find a way. And my neighbor Jeff Ward, who just retired from Argosy, my parents' neighbor, he saw that I was struggling getting out of the driveway, and he came over yesterday and plowed all the snow drifts away so I can get out. So power in neighbors, right, Lee? We were able to do this today.
I wondered because I really thought you were being overly optimistic, which is why I left my PJs on. I put a robe on, but I was like, I don't know that I think he's going to make it.
Well, Lee, all I know is that Alton Little Theater is getting ready to make it a great 2025. Are there tickets available for the X's? Anything sold out yet, or any days that we need to kind of worry about?
No, nothing is totally sold out the first Sunday. So that would be the 26th of January is very full. What happens, though, is we have a lot of people like your parents who go to Florida, and they don't, think to call us and say, hey, I'm in Florida, I'm not going to use my tickets. And we love it if they give their tickets to somebody else. That's what we want. But any other performance still has lots of seats available, a fair number of seats available, but the 26 I'd avoid if possible.
Yeah. Well, and Lee, thank you so much for letting us know about that. But I'm just so glad to have you on the show today because we'll have Village Dispensary on this Friday for our spot. We have a sponsor segment with Village too, and just wanted to get kind of your thoughts, and just because I know how, this isn't just work. I mean, this is your guys' life, and that's not me being exaggeratory or patronizing to you. But when someone puts in the effort that you and the board and all the volunteers and performers have done, it's great to see somebody stepping up and making sure you guys can keep doing what you're doing best.
Well, thank you. And you can make Eddie laugh when he comes on, because the first time he saw me, I had blonde hair because I had a wig on. And then when he came back, he said, wait, you're a different person. You're a redhead. And of course, everybody who knows me knows I'm the costumer. I get to wear lots of wigs. But it really made him laugh. He wanted to know, so are you going to be blonde today, or what color hair are you going to have today? And he just laughed and laughed and laughed. He has a great laugh.
Well, and honestly, it was just so cool. And Lee, thank you so much for. Is there anything else we need to talk about today, Lee?
No, but if anyone does have questions, we will be back in the office tomorrow. We're not going to make it today. Michael has a computer, so we can kind of check and see what's going on. But the people who have done our plowing forever said that they just didn't think they could get to it today. They wanted to come Tuesday morning. And of course I said yes. I mean, he gets much bigger jobs than us. So we'll be there tomorrow.
Well, that sounds good. You can call the box office tomorrow. It's a snow day today. Go have fun with the kiddos. Work extra this weekend. Just take the day off. I do that to myself. We were like, I'll get this done. And then I just stress myself out and I'm tired the next day. Hang out today. And then tomorrow you call Lee and Michael over there at Alton Little Theater's box office at 618-462-3205. We do have Alton Little Theater's website on the screen now. That's altonlittletheater.org. Look how nice that looks. All you got to do is pick on which shows interest you. Maybe all of them do. Buy tickets to all of them. Lee Cox, we will talk again soon. And I'm looking forward to hearing what's next from Alton Little Theater.
Well, good. And you be safe out there going home, though. Okay?
Oh, I will. My car is in the middle of Bell Street, and I just told everybody on Facebook that's the only place I could park today because it was kind of nasty down here, so I will move the car at 11:03, I promise. Lee Cox, we'll talk again soon. Stay warm.
Okay, bye-bye.
10 o'clock in downtown Alton. A quick break. Top of the hour news next.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. 10:03. Little bit of change on this Monday morning. It's our daily show. CJ Nasello here in the heart of the 618 on this snow day. If you guys are out and about, I'm going to yell at you when I'm on the road. By the way, that brings me to my next point. Okay, hey, just because you have 4-wheel drive doesn't mean the person in front of you does. Don't tailgate somebody. Literally, I went over to take care of my grandma's house yesterday. This idiot rode my butt I was going 20 miles an hour because of how awful the roads were yesterday. This guy was just taking life in his hands. Why are you in a hurry? Where are you going? Seriously, if you're speeding today, where are you going that you need to be in a hurry to? Where do you need to go and rush out of your house to? Okay? Where? Waiting. Again, that's my point. And also, if you can, pull your car out of the street and put it in your driveway, roll it into your yard, do something to get it out of the way of the plows. I mean, there's a reason that some of your guys' streets aren't getting plowed. Talk to your neighbors, and that's really it. I mean, that's a very big thing. You can't keep parking in the street if you want your roads plowed because your cars are blocking everything, and that's becoming a problem. They have snow routes, and you got to abide by those. So anyway, my little soapbox for you today, I know those are the things that folks are weighing in on today, getting a little upset with their neighbors maybe about why they're thinking the roads haven't been taken care of yet, but that's all throughout the Riverbend, not any town specifically, just what I've been noticing. 10:05, we'll take you to top of the hour news now. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update, and you can join myself and 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work weekend on Saturdays with Around the River Bend. We will take you right here to the Metro East first. It's facing a challenge with these winter conditions as heavy snowfall, strong winds, sleet, freezing rain have impacted travel and road safety. However, IDOT, various city and county street crews have been working non-stop. The snowfall at 7:40 a.m. finally diminished, but the National Weather Service in St. Louis did report that early in the morning they were seeing issues. Joe Monroe, the operations engineer for the Illinois Department of Transportation District 8, provided an update on the situation early Monday morning. Here's what he had to say. Monroe reported that the area experienced approximately 3 additional inches of snow overnight in many locations, with wind shifting somewhat. He emphasized the importance of patience and preparation for those planning to travel, stating, quote, "It looks like winds have turned a little bit more northerly component." Monroe noted that crews are working diligently to make roads passable. The snowfall totals have varied across the region. Thank you. Someone said this is a good color on me. I appreciate that. We're making here's what he had to say. "We're making a little progress with a low in the storm." He advised motorists should allow for extra time on their journeys and drive defensively, especially as conditions may remain hazardous throughout the morning. He urged motorists to give space in between vehicles while traveling, and also please give room for the plows to do their work. Snowfall totals varied across this region, with some areas reporting as high as double-digit accumulations. The National Weather Service said totals for inch counts throughout the region would be available later on today when we know for sure. Monroe highlighted that extreme southern regions are experiencing different weather impacts, which complicates this overall situation. In one incident on Sunday, an IDOT truck became stuck on Outerville Road near Illinois Route 3 after hitting a snowbank. And on Sunday, there were not many accidents reported, with most avoiding the roadways. There were some reports of drivers slipping and sliding on Interstate 55 as the region continues to deal with the aftermath of the storm. Monroe urged residents to be patient and to ensure that their vehicles are prepared for the ongoing winter conditions. He also urged motorists to have their vehicles prepared with a coat, blankets, shovels, or anything that might need in case of the potential of an accident. A full tank of gas is always recommended for anyone venturing out into the cold on Monday, with temps not predicted to reach above freezing. So, gas important. Bread, milk, and eggs secondary. Let's move on. The City Hall in Alton will be closed today due to the inclement weather. The decision affects city operations and services just for the 6th. The closure comes as the city has been fighting this winter storm. The light of the closure, the committee of the whole meeting, which was scheduled for tonight, has been moved to tomorrow, January the 7th at 6 p.m. Residents advised to stay home and remained informed through RiverBender.com regarding any more updates. Finally, in the news today, Public Works personnel in the village of Godfrey have been working tirelessly to keep the village's roads clear, and challenging weather conditions have put up a fight. The efforts, which began early in the day Sunday, have involved 7 drivers and additional contractors just to manage these inclement conditions. Village of Godfrey Mayor Mike McCormick expressed pride in the dedication of Jim Lewis, who does lead the Public Works Department, and his staff. Here's what the mayor had to say. Jim Lewis is extremely dedicated, and he's been doing this for a lot of years, McCormick said. Village of Godfrey Economic Director Jim Mager echoed McCormick's praise of Public Works personnel for their efforts combating terrible weather conditions outside. Mager stressed that Godfrey has a lot of rural terrain, and it encompasses many miles. Chris Circra, the Godfrey Public Safety Administrator, also has been involved in the Godfrey Road and safety efforts over the weekend. We want to make sure that he was recognized too. And despite the challenges, the Godfrey team have been committed to their work. It is estimated that another 3 to 5 inches of snow hit Godfrey overnight, and the team's out this morning clearing the areas. One final bit of news for you today, and that's just due to the frequency of how many times this story was viewed. We do have one final bit of news, and that was about this 29-year-old woman from East Alton, Elise Rule, who's facing multiple felony charges after that violent altercation with her boyfriend. Following a heated argument on December the 26th, Rule allegedly tried to run him over with her Chevrolet, causing injuries and significant damage. The confrontation escalated when Rule entered the victim's home without permission, leading to a physical altercation. And surveillance footage captured the incident, showing her striking the victim, then a concrete pillar. Rule has been charged with aggravated battery, criminal damage to property, and criminal trespass, though she is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Over the last week, a few days ago, when we first reported this, she was remanded to the custody of the jail, but has since been released. We'll keep you updated as more details do emerge. At 10:11, let's take a look at weather, shall we? 19 degrees. Oh, it's 20 degrees. It feels... Dang. 20 degrees, it feels like 10 out there. The visibility, Brian Trust, they're saying it's for 10 miles. I don't think it's for 10 feet. Today, a little snow early this morning. That already happened. And otherwise, today will be mostly cloudy and brutally cold. Do not leave if you don't have to. We have a total of 6 to 12 inches of snow in the Metro East, and various portions of it. We'll have accurate numbers for you as the afternoon progresses. Streets and sidewalks are not walkable right now. Trust me. I looked like Tony Soprano running through the woods after Johnny Sack got busted today. Not good. Tonight, breezy this evening, clouds breaking and very, very cold. It will drop down to -1. Extreme cold is going to be dangerous, and if you know somebody that's on the streets, inform them of the overnight warming locations to make sure they stay safe and warm. Temperatures will reach 27 degrees today. They will drop down to 1 degree overnight as we head into Tuesday. On Tuesday, -1 will be the low. There comes the true Arctic blast, 26 degrees for the high. On Wednesday, a high of 22 degrees, a low of -8. Ooh, boy, my boy. With Wednesday being the coldest day of the next few weeks. Wednesday night is going to be clear and frigid and will be very dangerously cold, -8 by the time 1 o'clock in the morning strikes on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. On Thursday, a high of 23 degrees, a low of 11 degrees, and on Friday, a high of 29 degrees and a low of 18 with a little bit of snow in the morning, and then more flurries on Friday night. Otherwise, it will just be cloudy. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's a look at what's happening now at 10:13 on the 6th day of January. It's 20 degrees in downtown Alton, and it feels like 10. In the studio, though, I'll be honest with you, I'm hotter than a pistol, man. It is like a 95 degrees down here, and I am not complaining. I just was making an observation in case anyone's wondering. 10:13, while I have you, hey, you know what would have went great with your smoke, or your, messed up. It's my first live read, truly, back since I've been off a break. Refresh. Hey, you know what would have been great for your snow day? A little smoke. I mean, seriously, you aren't going to be leaving the house. What are you doing? Where are you going to go to? Schnucks was closed yesterday. If they close at 1, it's time for the world to close. You know what I'm saying? You could have had the best day imaginable if you just stopped into Village Dispensary. You go place your order online, villagedispo.com. You would have been out faster than you can say up and smoke. Then you're sitting there watching The Sopranos, watching Judge Judy, watching whatever the heck you want to watch. It could be the Andy Griffith Show. And you're sitting there calm, happy, stress-free. You know why? Because you got top quality products from Village Dispensary getting you through this snow day. You know, it used to be whiskey and eggs. Now it's just edibles and eggs. You don't have a hangover, and you can keep just having the time of your life. I'm telling you, no brainer. If and only if you were going down that route. You know, listen, Village Dispensary told us last week that they are all about this region with that massive donation to Alton Little Theater. And at Village Dispensary, every day is a special day. There's deals left and right. You can walk out with a pre-roll for $5 or even a box of edibles for $7. Are you kidding me? What are you doing? Go to Village Dispensary. Why are you fighting the snow and all stressed out? That's my job. I had to walk with dress shoes on, you know? But I'm going to feel better in about an hour because I'm going to Village Dispensary, and I'm going to make my snow day one to remember. Don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. That's Village Dispo, villagedispo.com. And just remember, when you go in, it's a joint effort. At 10:15, we'll come back with a little bit more Daily Show. But, let's take a look at downtown Alton. More Daily Show next.
It's something that you never gonna forget. But baby, you just stay nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Hold on here, folks. We got breaking news. Breaking news on the national level. We'll have more for you from our AP Wire. This is international breaking news. This is a big one. This was coming after weeks of turmoil in Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced on Monday that he intends to resign the office as party leader and prime minister after pressure from within his own Liberal Party increasingly grew amid heightened criticisms over his handling of the economy and the threats that have been levied by President-elect Trump. He said he will resign once the party selects a new leader. Trudeau led that nation for nearly a decade and has been grappling for months with significant drops in approval ratings over mounting frustrations relating to issues like soaring costs, living, and rising inflation. If you're just tuning in, this was hinted yesterday night that this decision would be made today. We didn't know when, but it has been made. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, just a few moments ago, has announced that he intends to resign as party leader and resign from the position of Prime Minister of Canada after pressure from within his own party has grown amid heightened criticisms over his handling of the economy and threats that have been levied by President-elect Donald Trump. We will have more for you on our AP Wire with that internationally breaking news story, but we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more Daily Show, and now, here's a look at downtown Alton. We'll come back with more Daily Show right after this.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our Daily Show. Here's CJ.
along the way. Talking it over, just the two of us, working together day to day.
Welcome back. 10:20. I like that song. Sorry. Hey, I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what RiverBender.com was up to yesterday. We asked you guys for some pictures, and we're going to take you. I just want to take you through some of them. I have time. Hayner joins us in 10 minutes. Might as well take a look. This is from Liz, taking us through her pets out there, getting some snow time in the into that one. Let's go take a look through some more. Here's more from Liz. Look at how cute that dog is. Got his jacket on and life's all good. Thanks, Liz, for the submission. Look at this, hundreds of them. Here's one from Michael Gebbin from St. Mary's as the snow was falling down. That's a beautiful shot. Let's zoom in on that one, huh? Look at that one. Snow's coming down and the sun was starting to rise until the clouds put that sucker back in. That one's from Michael Gebbin of St. Mary's. Just a great shot. Let's find some more, shall we? Here's one from Stacy, who sent in her fur baby having the time of its life in the snow there. Love it. I just love watching animals have fun in the snow, you know? Keeps you moving. All right, let's find a few more to go through, shall we? Oh, man, tons of them. Here's one from Tammy at downtown Alton. That's 3rd Street. Can we zoom in a little bit more? Let's see. Not bad. I like that shot, too. That's one I could use for our daily show. You know, from one of those, when I say welcome back and we have the pictures on there, that's a good shot. I like that one. Good job, Tammy. We have like 500 of these, so I'm only going to pick a couple of more, but there were some really good ones. Oh, look at this cute dog. Maddie's sitting in that one to RiverBender.com and having some fun in the snow, almost as tall as the dog is, you know. There you go. We'll find a few more and we'll have some fun. We haven't had any cats yet. Let's see how the cats are enjoying the snow. Just observing, keeping calm as the storm starts to come on down. Look at that. Look at this. 522 comments and at least 300 submissions from all of you. Here's some kiddos playing in their sled and having some fun. That's a great shot. Thanks for submitting that one to us. Let's find some more. This is cool. I like this. Oh, always a great shot to see a cardinal, your loved one there checking in on you during the storm. That was submitted from Vandalia from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for submitting that one. A great shot of that cardinal. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Look at that. That's just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. All right. More pictures. Let's have some fun here. Oh, hey, first time a dog was in the snow. Let's watch this one. Can we zoom in? This was submitted on the comments section to a Riverbender. I love this. Little dog over there having... That dog's going to get lost here soon. Looks like big brother or sister's there to join in on the fun. That's really a great video. Thanks for sending that one in to us. That was from Lori. Oh, look at this, Mike. Thanks for making us all jealous. That's Mike in Florida during yesterday. My parents probably have a similar shot. Mom and Dad, is it sunny in Destin as it is in Vero Beach? Wow. All right, Mike. Thanks for making us feel good. Oh, man, this was the River Road by Piasaw Harbor around 1:20 yesterday. Look at this, man. Wow. I don't know if you all can see this. That is a street sign. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at that. That's a street sign hanging out on down there. Talk about getting, and then try getting through that road. Any more for us? Oh, look at that. That's a great one, though. That is a great picture. This is from Laura. A couple of bigger cardinals that are on the bird feeder. They're having some fun. I like that one. That's a good shot. Any more? I got a couple of more minutes to play with. Might as well have some fun. This was wow. This was Miles Station Road in Brighton. Look at that snow total, folks. That's about 8 inches of snow at the time he took that photo, and I'm sure with the dusting we got last night, that's going every bit over the foot mark. And I know at my parents' house, they have over a foot of snow on their deck. There's no doubt about it. Man, oh man. Just wild. A couple more for you. Let's see if I can scroll down and just find some more. This is from Debbie in Brighton about 1:30 p.m. as the snow was falling down. Look at just all of that coming in there. Wow. That's beautiful, though. I love it. Just looks great. Great shots. Love the iron fence there with the snow falling down around it, and just a lot. Those were big snowflakes. Channel 5 said there were hamster-sized snowflakes yesterday. Hamster size. No, thank you. All right, couple more for you. Another great video. Thank you there, Debbie, for that one. And then this is from Angel. Her daughter making a snow angel yesterday in Brighton. That's how you spend the snow day, I guess. Look at that. I don't think I've made a snow angel in a long time. Probably because I better be working. This is in Hardin. Wow. Talk about a little bit of snow in there. If you have a small dog, I don't think they're making it outside in that one. Wow. Just there in Hardin there, submitted from Jacqueline. Thank you so much for the post. Let's see. Oh, this is a great one. Just a kid and his dog or her dog watching the storm there. That was submitted by Craig. Thanks for sending that one in. And then one more for you because I got to take a break and get ready for Hayner Library. This was in Wood River from Nancy. We'll take a little bit of a look from that. Seeing some folks plowing their streets and at least getting their driveways cleared. Man, oh man, that John Deere is never going to let you down, my friend. Getting it done and getting through the snow. But man, just look at all of that snow just everywhere. If you're looking at this and saying, I can still make it to wherever I need to go today, this is your time to say no. Just call it a day. Hey, I'm getting ready to leave here in 30 minutes. Right after Mary's interview, I'm closing the show and we're going back home. So don't do anything that you'll have to call your insurance company for later. That's a great shot of the snowplow, though. I love that one. All right, I told you that was the last one, but I like these. Let's do a couple more. I'm having fun. Let's see. All right, we'll end on this video. Yeah, we'll end on this one. All right, look at these little Frenchies that look... I can't make it in the snow. I love it. That's great. Okay. Hey, he's trying at least. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more Daily Show. Let's take a look at the White House, Hayner Library. Keep submitting your comments on that Facebook post on RiverBender.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I knew I got turn the song. Turn the song. When you're coming home, I can't go on. Turn the song. I knew I got turn to the song.
Welcome back. Another one of those submissions. That was East Alton. Good luck getting through that road. Christine Claxton sent that one in on our RiverBender.com comment line as we had a lot of people saying, look at... There, Mary can see me now. Look at our roads. Mary, how's your homestead doing today?
Well, I'm probably bright red-faced. I've been outside like everybody trying to dig out of my house. So I have my timer set so that I wouldn't miss coming in here to do the broadcast. So, yeah, cold. And once again, I would like to point out that summer is much, much better than winter.
Aren't you? You aren't a kidding, man.
Oh, God, I hate this.
Well,
I hate this.
I got to tell you this before we go in. My house is on an alley, so it's not getting plowed. So I was at my parents' house because they're in Florida. I went over and I couldn't get anywhere near my house. So I had to walk through the woods to get to my front door. I looked like Tony Soprano, looking like he's getting ready to be arrested, running away from the cops. And then, this is the best part, I was hungry and I knew it was a long walk back. So I made myself a sandwich. I had a sandwich in one hand. I was trudging through the snow. I was not giving
I'm impressed you're in the studio, honestly. I mean, that's impressive.
My car is in the middle of Bell Street. So if anyone...
We are, yeah, as you can tell, the library is closed today. We are, we just didn't want patrons and staff and everybody getting out, but I have a feeling all the staff is at home trying to dig out so that we can be at the library tomorrow. I know that's what I'm doing.
Well, and that's a good point, Mary. For all the parents that are worried about school tomorrow, just stay tuned. They'll give the all-call, and I would assume they'll wait and make sure the buses can pass and all that. So give them some time. And Mary, even though I really appreciate your time today, by the way, because
no problem.
But how's everything at the library? I knew we'd be talking today, but there's a lot happening.
There is a lot going on, and I apologize. I'm going to be kind of like going back.
You do what you need to do. Hey,
I've got my electronic newsletter up and talking to you, but everything's going really well. Our newest newsletter just came out, the winter newsletter. So it's got all of our programs in it for January, February, and March. And so we're obviously January just started. We're just getting ready to kick those programs off. So we've got a lot going on for adults, teens, and for kids.
By the way, I love your crown molding over your entryway. I just see it in the corner.
Thanks,
I'm a big stickler when it comes to crown mold. That is really good stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, we've got an old house, so it's all original.
It's
and
beautiful.
We like it. Thanks.
Well, and now what event should we start with first that our public needs to know about?
So we've got a program coming up on January 18th. So still have a little bit of time, but this is part of our collaboration with the Alton Area Landmarks Association. And it's going to be on Saturday, January 18th at the Genealogy and Local History Library. It's Dean Klinkenberg is coming to talk about plotting the future for historic river towns. So he's going to talk about the history of how towns formed along the rivers of the country. And a lot of those towns have just been decimated, in the Rust Belt area, and what we can do, the history of them, and then what we can do to revive those towns, and about the communities that have breathed new life into them, and what towns like ours can do to do the same. So that's coming up on
Also, on top of that, too, Tom Emery just called in during the Christmas break about about the choosing of a state capital and why Springfield was given, and kind of the political BS that was going with it. But a part of that, too, if folks are interested to kind of get a taste of what they're going to learn about the river towns, he talked about why Alton was such a prominent spot because of that river location, and how big of a deal it was that we weren't chosen.
Right. And it's interesting because at the time, and still to this point, because you and I were at that North Alton Godfrey Business Council meeting where they talked about the transport on the river and how vital it is still to our economy. But back then that's what it was, but it's also the tourism aspect. And so, kind of talking about how the river is an economic life, an engine, but also what we can do to revitalize when we don't necessarily have the transportation coming through, but maybe it's tourism or something like that. So
that was the coolest darn thing I ever learned about, was seeing
Wasn't
how much
that was so interesting.
That was awesome. There was so much money in that river that we don't realize, and and I just hope that we can start, just as a region, start seizing that a little bit more, because you're right, that was like the coolest thing. And now, how long of a presentation is this?
It starts at 10, and they're usually about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour with questions. I don't know if he'll be taking questions. Most of our presenters do take questions, though. So yeah, that'll be on January 18th. And then one of the things I wanted to point out, it's not a program where there's a specific date or time, but one of the things we just started, and we've gotten so much good feedback on it, is we started a jigsaw puzzle exchange. So, for days like this, when you're stuck in your house and can't go anywhere, this would be a really great thing. We had someone donate some jigsaw puzzles to us. So we divided them up between us, the downtown library, and the Alton Square Library. And we've encouraged patrons to bring in a puzzle or take home a puzzle, and you don't have to check it out. You just come and swap puzzles out, or if you don't have a puzzle, you're still welcome to take one. And so that's been really fun. So that's kind of a new program that we've got.
I'm only chuckling because I was gonna make the joke, but there's a Zoom delay. Is the fact that if you're a parent out there, how great would it be to have your kid playing a jigsaw puzzle instead of arguing with some grown man on a video game that you're never gonna see or hear from?
Right. Yeah. So it's the perfect come and pick them up. We've got all different kinds. I think there's some that are smaller, and right now I don't think we have any kids puzzles that people have brought in, but we're all ages. So
keep them busy.
Bring in kid puzzle, do something like that. And if you've got a bunch of puzzles that maybe you accumulated over COVID and you're looking for a place to take them, bring them into the library. We'll be happy to take them and then make sure they get put to good use.
What a great liner, because you're right, man. The puzzle industry was booming during COVID.
Yep. Oh yeah. I know. I mean, they were great, and I mean they still are. My mom's always got a jigsaw puzzle going. So they're great.
It's the big puzzle industry. Big puzzle.
Big puzzle. So we've got that going on. We've also got our regular programs. We have our X's and So's crafting program. We have our children's story times and craft times going on. We have a lot of things going on. The other thing too to think about, I know it sounds crazy. I realize how nuts this is going to sound on a day like this is, pretty soon you're going to want to start thinking about what you're going to plant early for your early garden.
Yep.
Vegetables like lettuces and things like that. So we have a seed library at Hayner. So you can, it's a seed swap. So you can come in, you can bring in if you have seeds that you've collected and you want to donate, we'll take them, we'll sort them out, we'll put them out for patrons to take, and then you can take seeds yourself. So we have vegetables, we have fruits, we have herbs, and we have flowers. So I know it sounds nuts on a day like today, but something to start thinking about as you want to start sowing or getting them ready for the spring garden.
Well, and honestly, that's a great point. I was just, I used to work every once in a while with Dave Sherwood and run his boards over from Sherwood's Forest, and he was big on that first, when we get closer to February and that frost, the first or last frost, I can't remember now off the top of my head, but it is time to really start thinking about that, especially for grass seed. Did you hear about that? I didn't know that if you plant grass early, whenever that last frost or whenever it starts to change and wetten out a bit, you're going to have a great year. I mean, it's like, it's a big thing. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, we aerate our yard. We go out and golf shoes, and sometimes we rent an aerator from St. Peter's, and then right in the fall, right before it gets cold, and then we put down grass seed and compost and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it really does help.
Well, and think about this. What a great time to bring that up for folks, because especially younger people, when you want to, because I know from experience, you move into that first house, and you do too, Mary. You want to do all this and make that house look nice, but It gets costly for plants.
It costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money. And so that's another great thing to think about too at the library. So you can come and get your seeds for your garden, so you can save some money there. You can, and like I said, it's not just fruits and vegetables. We've got flowers, perennials, and they're native perennials. So
Oh, wow,
they're
yeah.
gonna do well in your garden. And herbs, we have that as well. But we also have in the Library of Things, talking about like for new homeowners and young homeowners, we've got toolkits and laser levels and things like that you can check out. So you don't have to run right out and buy them, especially if it's your first place. You're and you're still trying to get moved in and you're on a budget. Just come by the library and check this stuff out.
And on top of that, Mary, even if, let's say, they don't have the tools, but maybe if they had the tool, that would stop them from calling somebody else to charge them $55 an hour. And that's not joking. That's just the service charge of this.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And what's really great about that, and I keep thinking about all the ways that, the library, the point of the interview is, but you can come by, pick up a tool, and then you can go home and you can log into one of our databases, and there's video databases.
Yeah.
So, YouTube is great. I mean, I use YouTube myself, but these are videos, like there's a home improvement database that we have. Things
These
like
are
that,
vetted.
where you know that, yes, they've been vetted by like electricians and plumbers and things. You're really getting accurate information.
Because we've seen those videos of that guy in some foreign country that puts ramen noodles in the car, and then they put resin in it and they sand down the. Have you seen this?
Yeah, no.
Oh my God! They put ramen noodles in there, uncooked ramen noodles. They put them in there. They put some resin and some filler. They sanded down the ramen noodles and covered it up with paint. Don't do that.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's the kind of guy that could be giving you electrical advice.
That's right.
So, go to the library's website, which is haynerlibrary.org, and then click on databases, and then you can find actual vetted true information to help you with your home improvement. Don't use ramen noodles.
That's what I was driving home. That point is, it's on YouTube. It doesn't mean it's going to work. I have spent hours kicking my car and punching things.
Yeah.
Well, and that's on a day like this, not to make so much seriousness out of it, but that's why it's good to have a community resource and have your library card, because even though you're closed today, your resources are still online where you can.
They are. Yeah. So if you go to haynerlibrary.org and you can click on where it says, I think, online databases at the top. And then there's also one that is ebooks and audiobooks. You can find, like I said, if you're snowed in, you can still access ebooks, audiobooks, streaming media. So you can get unlimited TV shows and movies that you can watch while you're stuck in the house. We've got all kinds of things, and through the audiobooks are through Cloud Library and Overdrive. And then the free streaming TV shows and movies are through Biblio Plus. And you can put those apps on your devices, so your phone or your iPad or your tablet or even Roku. They work with Biblio Plus works with Roku and Apple TV and all of those devices. So you can stream those for free with your library card. And we even have audiobooks for kids. So we have Tumblebook Library for children. So, you can also do that with your library card from home too.
Well, see, I just think that's why I think this is so important to talk about, because, half the time because we don't prepare as people. I mean, this is the last time we've had a storm of this magnitude is quite a few years. But, you don't think about how much a Hayner Library card could help. If, especially, there's folks that have 5 or 6 kids in a house, 12 hours is long enough,
Right. Yeah. You want something to do. And so, and again, a lot of everything that we have is put together and edited, and it's information you can feel good about accessing and knowing that it's accurate, or that, like for the ebooks, for the Tumblebooks, when you hand your kids a device, you don't quite know what they're going to link up to or what they're going to find. But if you give them the Tumblebooks app, it's teacher approved. It's been vetted, it's been edited, and it's educational, good quality materials for your children.
Well, and on top of that too, you made another great point. You're on fire today, Mary. It's such a good one, because more and more kids are using YouTube to fall asleep, and whatever, that's fine. But I would much rather, if you have audiobooks for free, plug in an audiobook and let your kid go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I'm never going to never preach about what you should do with your own child, but if I was the parent, that's what I would do.
It's just another way, something for them to have that you can feel good about.
I just love it.
And it also has games and puzzles and things like that on it too. So if you're stuck at home, you can use your library card to access those. And like I said, it's Tumble Books, and so it's a great service for kids.
Is there any presentations coming up on how to make your own toboggan?
If only I had thought about that.
So
for next year, I'll put it in the fall newsletter so we can prep for winter.
That's right. What else is coming down the pipeline, Mary?
So we've got some other things coming up. We actually have a teen program that I think people would be interested in. It's this coming Saturday, actually. It's Saturday, January 11th at 1:00 p.m. It's called Draw to Impress. And so it's a competition. So it's a drawing competition for teens. And so you can meet up with other teens that also share an interest in drawing and art. And we're going to have a small, it's a friendly competition. And we've got prizes and snacks and all kinds of things. So, this snow, it's going to be so cold this week. This snow's not going anywhere.
No.
So if you're looking for things to do, though, by this weekend, we're going to all have cabin fever. You can come on by the Alton Square Mall Performance Room at Saturday, January 11th at 1 p.m. if you're a teen, and join our drawing competition. So we've got that going on.
Real quick, Mary, you brought up another great, again, on fire today. You are just hitting all the points. If you are not leaving your house today, please don't, but go start your car, because it's going to be -1 degree and you don't want your car batteries to die.
Yeah.
So go.
Oh, that's a great point. Yes. Go do that after you listen to this.
Yeah, after. But whenever you said weather, I'm like, duh, I got to say that today. Go start your car, let it run for a half hour. It's all good. Turn it off. Mm-hmm. You're good to go.
Yep. Yeah.
How great is it to know that your staff is just adding to? I mean, you have something literally every month it's not just one day a week. It's not that one day a month. It's all the time. There's something.
We've got a program pretty much every single day of the month. And whether that's an active program, that you come to and you participate in, where we have activities or we have a lecture or something like that, or passive programs for kids. We realize families you can't just, not everybody can make it on a Tuesday morning at, 10:00 a.m. So we have passive programs for families to just come in and participate in when it fits their schedule. Mm-hmm. So if you take all of that into account, we have a program nearly every single day that the library is open. So we've got a lot going on.
Awesome. And now what else is coming on down the pipeline besides the events for the teens and kids?
So we've got a few other things coming up. Like I said, we've got our historic preservation lecture series, and we've got another one in that series. That's a 3-month series. So there's one every month: January, February, March.
We hit on that.
All 3 of them. Yeah, you can come to all 3 of them, or you can come to individual ones. We have those going on. We also have we've got a writer's circle coming up in January. So if you are a writer and you want to meet with other writers, and we give you a writing prompt, a different topic every month, and then you can write on that, and then you can discuss your writing with other writers. We have that going on. On January 16th, we have our first part of our Empowered Caregiver education series by the Alzheimer's Association. So that's going to be January 16th at 6 p.m. That one is Building Foundations of Caregiving and Supporting Independence. We have here's a great one. We have our book, our shelf care book that's going on, and that one takes place completely online. So you, like today would be a perfect time. You just can log in. It's a virtual book club. There's no discussion times or periods. You just can participate. We've got a QR code. It's on our Facebook page. It's called Shelf Care. It's a book club that happens whenever, wherever. And in February, we're going to be talking about the Rachel incident by Carolyn O'Donoghue. And you just log in and kind of leave your comments in the comment section, and people can interact with each other online through that book club. So we've got that going on. We've got a lot of things going on. Yeah, we've got later on in the month, the Illinois State Treasurer's Office is coming for an iCash program.
Oh, by the way, thank you for bringing that up. I'm so sorry for getting excited about this. I decided whenever you came on the show a couple weeks ago during the tape, I thought, well, while you're talking about it, I'll go to the iCash website and just look, because I don't know how this process works. I just know you can type your name in and you can see.
Yeah.
There are literally like 30 members of my family that have some type of money available to them, and I am none of.
Really?
Well, I'm none of.
Wow. See, there you go.
But I'm none of those people, so I don't know if I tell them and I get 10%, like just depending on.
Finder's fee.
That's right. But this is a great event, and I'm telling you guys, you will have no idea if you have any money owed to you unless you go to this event and use these tools.
You can stop by the library. That's going to be January 23rd at the mall library from 1 to 4 p.m. We'll have a representative from the Illinois State Treasurer's office there, and they will be helping you. They've got a database. They'll go in, they'll take a look. You just need to bring your ID in with you, and they'll help you look for any unclaimed funds that the Illinois Treasurer's office might be holding. And it could be anywhere from, a couple bucks to, a few $1,000s. It depends on what's hanging out there.
I'm just going to be honest.
It's totally free.
I'm just going to be honest. I did make notes of who was owed over $100 because they don't tell you the amount. They just say over or under. And trust me, all of those people are getting Christmas cards because you never know.
I think I might have like maybe a couple of bucks hanging out there, and I'm like, is it worth the stamp? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So, So we've got a lot going on. And then through January, we've got our haunted history, our haunted Hayner, which that registration is full. That was filled up so much in the fall that we decided to have another event in the winter.
That's a good problem. That's a good problem.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. Great problem to have. Which we've got a ghost hunting kit in the library of things. You can check that out if you can't make it to the program. But then we've got our winter reading retreat coming up. That's on January 31st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. That's at the Alton Square Mall. And so it's actually the one year anniversary of that program. It's been a big hit. So we're going to have hot cocoa, a snack. We're going to have a craft. This is for adults, and a craft that you can make. We're going to provide all of the supplies. It's a winter scene in a jar. So I don't know if you've ever seen those. You take a jar and you put like lights. Winter things in it, and you can take that home. And then it's just a chance for people to get together and talk about their favorite books and authors and what they're reading. Even if you want to bring your book and you want to just kind of hang out and just read and kind of be left alone, just have some time to hang out and read, you can do that too. So
I think
there's quite a bit going on.
It's so important though, because a lot of times folks are looking for that, and more of my generation is starting to. I don't know if it's because of like a social media thing that's going on, but it just seems like folks are wanting to get back to that. I don't want to say old school, but that almost vintage way of communicating and getting together and meeting new people. And that's with book clubs and all of these older ways of doing it that are coming back into fray. And it seems like every one of your quote unquote book clubs of all kinds, whether it's for the cookbooks or the taps and tomes, it seems like everyone's really just jumping in on these.
Yeah, it's great. I think people just really miss. I mean, I'm a people person, so I'm probably not the right person to talk about it. But I think people missed, especially during the pandemic, that being with one another, and so it's just people are getting back out there and really enjoying being with one another. So, and these are great ways to do it because you're going to meet like-minded people. If you're coming to a craft event, chances are pretty good somebody that's coming is also going to like crafts. And so you're going to already have something in common. So there's not that awkward, like, oh, hey, who are you? What do you like to do? You kind of already can start the conversation there. And it's just a great way to feed your mind and also to meet new people and talk and just kind of just be part of a community.
Do you know what I think is really cool about this too? It's the fact that right now we have a problem with communicating, not you and I, but just the world. Like there's just this disconnect of how do we communicate? Can we have different opinions without screaming at each other? And not even politically speaking. I'm just talking about cats or dogs. People are having that tough time. This is a good way if you haven't had like people interactions in a while, and it sounds like I'm patronizing when I'm talking. I'm not. It's just people have gone through this. You can go and maybe re-hone some of those skills, like just people-to-people skills, because you do lose them if you don't use them.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. And like I said, a lot of people, we've been, out of the pandemic for a while, but, some people are just kind of getting back into the swing of doing things, or you become, it's like you've formed this habit of doing everything online or doing everything like, shopping and picking it up and just driving up, and there's no social interaction. And so these are a great way to get your feet wet and get back out and participate in programs and services. So.
And the bigger point of it, kind of tongue in cheek was what I was going with is it's okay if someone says they didn't like that part of the book. You don't have to shut
Yeah.
down. You can just have an open discussion about it. That's,
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's healthy.
That's what I love about book club. You know, it's so many people come from so many different backgrounds, and you're kind of coming together, and it's like, oh, I didn't even get that while I was reading the book. I didn't even think about it that way. And it kind of opens your eyes, and you're like, oh, all right, okay, I see where you're coming from. So even if you don't agree with it, it's still interesting to interact with each other. So
really cool. And Mary, don't let me stop you. We got 5 minutes. What else is coming down the pipeline?
Well, we actually have in January, we've been trying every quarter to have a fine amnesty program so that it benefits patrons and it also benefits someone else. And so in January, it's called Cool to Be Kind, and it's our fine amnesty program. So if you have things that are overdue, Hayner Library items that are overdue, and they could even be really long overdue items to the point that you've been billed for them, as long as you have the item and it's in good condition, you can return your Hayner Library item to the library, and you can, and instead of paying for the item or paying for the fine, you can bring in an item and we will waive your fine and then send that item on to another entity to help them. So in January, It's Cool to Be Kind. So you can bring in hats, gloves, mittens, scarves, gently used or new, no stains or holes, because these are going to people that are going to need to wear them. But you can bring all of that in, we'll waive your fine, and then we will donate those items to the Crisis Food Center's Nearly New shop. And so then people who don't have jackets, coats, gloves, mittens, scarves, that kind of thing, they can take them and stay warm. So it waives your fine, it gets our materials back. We put them back on the shelf for other patrons to check out. And then those people at the Nearly New shop also benefit from being warm. So that's going to take place the entire month of January.
That and just more of what really I think you guys have really just found your niche. I mean, really found your stride, because through all of this, that's what you've talked about it so eloquently, really, about what a library truly is and how it's changed. And the library of 1890 is not the library of today. And you guys have adapted and are really striving. Now, what's 2025 look like for you guys? I mean, I know it's kind of a blanket statement, kind of a gotcha question without being one. Are you feeling pretty good about 2025? Anything new coming down the pipeline?
We are feeling, I think we've got some exciting programs coming up, and the staff is always thinking about, hey, what can we do? What can we try? And so that's exciting to me, is to hear the ideas that people have and say, hey, do you think we can do this? Can we try that? So we've got some stuff coming up in the spring that I'm going to be excited to talk about, some partnerships that we have with other groups in the community, and because that's, like you said, libraries went from being this repository of information to being like lending libraries, and now also being repositories of information and being lending libraries, more of a community center.
It is. Yeah, you hit it right on the head.
And that's a trend across the country. It's not just here. And so, we have found that ourselves. And so, we just keep offering more programs, and people keep signing up and participating in them. And so it's, in addition to all of the books that we check out and the movies that we check out and the items that we stream and download and all of that, there's also that component of programming and being a community center and service group that we have found people really want, and that we're happy to adapt and give to people. So we're always trying something new, and we've got some exciting things coming up for the year. So
absolutely. And with that being said, Mary, I was just making sure before we said bye there wasn't any breaking news that came across the local wire, just to make sure we're all informed. The big national. Before I say goodbye, the big national story for all of you at home watching today, you can stay tuned through the Associated Press on RiverBender.com. Justin Trudeau announcing his resignation just a few moments ago due to that turmoil. That was the big news story. But for all of you, that's it. I mean, the news story is that it's snowing. Stay home. I mean, don't move.
Yeah.
Don't
Go dig yourself out. Be careful while you're digging yourself out too. Be really careful, because they say, shoveling snow leads to
heart attacks,
serious cardiac events.
So, that's what we were talking about earlier, Mary. If you're older couple out there, older, I mean 35 to 40, sorry, don't kid yourselves. It's a lot of labor. I'm serious. Check on each other every couple of minutes to make sure that we're all good. But Mary, you stay safe. Are you even going to try the hill today? How do you guys maneuver that?
No, we are at the top of State Street Hill, and it is, no, I'm just there. I have no need to today. I'll navigate it. I'll give our wonderful, I would really like to say thank you to the street department in Alton and Godfrey. They are working so hard so that we can all get out, and just a big thank you to them. And I'm living at the top of State Street Hill. You know, it is, they're out there working really hard. And so once they get State Street Hill plowed, I'm sure it is probably, but I can't get off my street to find it. You know, we'll make our way down the hill and we'll be open again tomorrow. Hopefully.
No coming in hot videos from Mary Cordes. Huh?
None. I do. My nightmare is going viral. Nothing about that is appealing to me. So no, I will not be flying down State Street Hill. No, thank you.
Well, you stay safe and warm today. Thank you for cutting the time out to still come on the show and talk with us. We'll talk again in a couple of weeks, but you stay warm today and we'll talk again soon, okay?
Thanks, CJ. Appreciate it.
With all of that being said, we are out of time. I will see you guys tomorrow back in the studio live at 9. Until then, I'm going to go find my car if it hasn't been towed. It is in the middle of Bell Street. That was the only parking spot. We'll find out soon. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.